Welcome back. It's the grand finals of the NA qualifier for the Nanyang Championships. The winner of this series is going to go to the Singapore LAN and compete for $200,000 of a prize pool. It's Digital Chaos going against Cloud9, and we're in Game 3, and C9 are up 2-0.
It's been domination from them as well, I think. Looking at the way the games played out, Game 1, they kind of dictated the draft, got the heroes they wanted based on what they kind of expected DC to pick. I'd say counterpicked a lot of their draft. They just moved the lanes around well, outplayed them. Game 2, felt like DC were kind of going for an all-in desperation techies pick, and we never really saw the techies have much of an impact.
Well, we'll see. Are we going to be treated with 3 straight techies games? It's much more plausible now. First pick Tusk going to go to Cloud9's side after they already put priority in banning out, of course, your Lesh, Bounty Hunter. The other side, they get rid of the Gyrocopter and the Lina, and quickly we go away here. Look, Digital Chaos, they get their Darkseer Dazzle combo, and the quick response from Cloud9 is the infamous, now Ritsu AM.
So this is kind of like the Game 1 repeat where DC still want to commit to the Darkseer in the first 2, which they know the Anti-Mage is coming. As soon as you pick the Darkseer up, C9 are going to go for the Anti-Mage. They've already got the Tusk to give them that great team fight, mid-game space creation. But DC just go for the Dazzle instead of the Earthshaker. I think they feel like having that support just really helps boost up their laning stage, gives them a bit more kind of mid-game aggression, having the Shadow Wave as well as Grave to back them up. And it's some good physical damage amplification as well, which is always a way of dealing with an Anti-Mage. Good ban on the TA, though. That's one of the heroes which Anti-Mage has problems against and works really well with Dazzle.
Yeah. There is an SF, which DC did reach for in their first game. Obviously, they didn't walk away with the win, but Yawar was beastly in that game. He definitely took control in the lane, and you get your common synergy with your Dazzle, because we're already getting, and they're withering away the possible options, and I know DC don't want to pick a Storm into an AM, so do they ban it? They do. Come on, guys, let me finish my thoughts so I can look kind of cool. Well, they banned it out, no surprise, because they can't take it themselves, and it's very, very plausible that Cloud9 could just give it to Brax.
They banned Storm 3 games in a row against Brax. Game 1 and 3 when C9 had Anti-Mage. Game 2, DC had already picked up... they first picked Lina, so it was like... Because UR plays a great Storm as well, but they're not going to pick into AM, they're not going to pick when they've already got Lina, so... Forced to ban it 3 times in a row against Brax, and we'll see what he's on this time. Brax is very versatile. He's one of those players who, he's actually incredible in the mid lane. He just doesn't quite get the hype because he's been around for so long. So it's like, he's not like a new name. It's not like he's an exciting new youngster pub star type player. It's like, well, he's Brax. He's been around. He's played on big name teams. He played on LGD International when they were at their peak. He's played on top teams before, so people just like expect him to be good and consistent. But he's had some incredible performances with C9.
You can say exactly that same thing, but change out the name for MSS too.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Been around the block, many teams, many faces. But he's showing something new and special here, like Brax have. So we have to see. Digital Chaos, though, it's on them. They need this win if they want to stay alive and try to push it to at least a Game 4.
This would be a big hit to like a newly formed team to go down in this fashion in the finals. Like, yeah, you made it to the finals. It's still an accomplishment. I don't think they're going to just go and change their roster right away, but it's still just, it's a really big blow to your general, just your hype as a new team, thinking like, okay, we're going to be the second best in NA. This is our first stepping stone. Like, because this tournament is in a lot of ways a stepping stone into the majors, and to hit a roadblock this early on is going to really kind of hurt the morale of Digital Chaos.
And, you know, it's almost justified why there's so much hype built around this DC squad. You're talking about TI champion Owie, TI champion's brother, Yawar. TC, we know, has been around the block. New, young, and up-and-comer Biryu, and, of course,
TI5 champion Coach. So,
yeah. I mean, it's a star-studded game right now between both these teams. Phantom Lancer going to be grabbed after the Wind Ranger for DC. Cloud9, they're going to secure a Clockwork. So an MSS Clockwork, SVG gets his Tusk. He plays a really good Tusk. I mean, for a player who I know, I've said this many times, Ritsu gets all the attention. It's not like we're looking to SVG like, he needs to pick up, the slack, and he seems to be the heel for this team. No, he is matching up with the rest of the squad, seems to be just in tune, there for the fight, there from the get-go. Now the Zeus will be coming out. Brax is going to take that.
So they decide, basically that was the mid they wanted to go for, because if they were kind of open to the mid, they would maybe have picked up 1437's hero earlier, because I imagine this will be a last ban on Witch Doctor. It's just been his... When he hasn't got Dazzle, Witch Doctor's always been the number 2, so...
I didn't notice till now But did they switch drafters midway through? Bulba, typically the drafter for DC. It's Owie now in the drafting seat. Did this happen mid-series? It's hard to keep track of stuff like that. I really wish they would add more of a highlight around the name, instead of that tiny little dinky crown thing.
Yeah, that's actually good.
Come on.
Good point.
Ice Frog out there, listen up. Highlight it. Make him a shiny star. But, yeah, Owie in the drafter seat. It's hard to say what they're, for some teams, it's a very open forum as far as ideas and, working back and forth here. But who knows what's happening behind the monitors of the DC squad right now, switching drafters over. We'll see if Howie's going to be able to string together a team to get them on the comeback. They last banned the 1437 Witch Doctor. And Cloud9 now, with their last ban, looking to rid of the 4 position. Secondary support, an Owie hero here. Visage possibly. No, they're going to put more on the Naga. So Visage is still out there as a possible option. Could they consider going jungle, maybe? We've seen no more jungle play at all throughout this whole tournament. No Enigmas, no Chens.
The Enigma is probably the big one you'd consider. Be greedy, but C9 have some greed of their own. They've already picked up the Anti-Mage. They'll be safe laning him. There's pressure that'll be coming out on the map from the Tusk, though, so I think it's possible, because PL is just such a good, sustainable laning carry, so...
But there's one more pick on Cloud9, and it is for a support, and it could be a quick counter. Like, what about something like a Silencer could come up? We know 1437 plays that very well, so it might be too risky to commit to something like an Enigma.
Yeah, and you've got Hookshot, you've got Mana Void, you've got War, you've got 3 ultis that go through, but
they're doing it anyway.
You made the call. Pick up a jungler, pick up something a bit greedy, and they've gone that exact direction.
Silencer's going to come up here, I feel. I think that would be
They
scary.
may have enough to go through. I think you don't want to go all in to counter a black hole necessarily, just because it's you're better off getting something that just fits the overall lineup, which it lanes pretty well. It definitely is a decent pick for the safe lane. Disruptor also comes to mind as, I think, a good hero with Glimpse as well to deal with the Darkster in lane, as well as give you some good kill potential.
Yeah. If not, someone like a Silencer, someone who could maybe... is it worth contesting the jungle? Or taking advantage of the fact that he'll be just out of the laning phase altogether?
You need a support for the safe lane. I think you want to give Anti-Mage a little bit of help against Darkster. Even though Anti-Mage versus Darkster is like a classic, slightly Anti-Mage favored matchup, it's... just secure his farm that little bit better and give him the support there. So I'd be surprised if they don't pick a support for the safe lane to go with the Anti-Mage.
Silencer.
That's what I'm talking about, there baby. Silencer going to get picked up. 1437, man.
It's happening.
Whew. Okay. I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like that Silencer could be just as critical as it was the first time these two teams matched up. You remember DC had picked up, I believe it was an AM and a Storm together. And then the final grab was that Silencer, and it did work. Yeah. Everything came around that global.
It feels like to me there's Yua's Wind Ranger has to be a huge playmaker this game. He's going to be, at all stages of the game, but especially in the mid to late game, he's the setup. He's the one, their only real chance of killing someone like an Anti-Mage by hitting big shackles and by making crazy plays. So we'll have to see what he can do in this hero, but he's
it's so a lot.
He's delivered in the mid lane.
And it's not the black hole itself, it's just the mind game factor. The black hole's out there, especially up until the Silencer can somehow find a way to get that kind of a farm. But we are going to get started here. What kind of TPs are we going to see? That's been the trend at the start. Who's TPing where? No one TPing anywhere.
It's the mind games. You've done it the last game, so it's going to be Bulba I don't want to TP. They're just going to counter my TP. So C9 are he's not going to TP anymore. Now it's time for us also not to TP. Let's save that 100 gold and no TPs.
Here we go, folks. It's a best of 5. First 2 games going to be going the way of C9 here. It's elimination right now for Digital Chaos. They need this win just to stay alive. Cloud9, they can taste victory. One more win here, and they have secured their trip to Singapore to represent America at the LAN. The only America team. EG dropped out. So raise your flag right now and see if it's going to be for Cloud9 or for DC over in Singapore. No early aggression, no early TPs. 30 seconds. Going to see a pretty hesitant DC side at the start.
The lane, this will be another kind of heavy farming game. You've got Zeus, who's not really that aggressive of a ganker. He'll look to throw the ulti to help set up ganks, which maybe the Clockwork and the Tusk are leading, but both sides going fairly greedy and focusing more on the farm. You've got AUI who's going to be jungling the Enigma. You've got a Zeus anti-mage draft, two kind of heavy farming heroes. So we'll see kind of a similar playstyle from both teams as we saw in the past games, where don't expect this game to end anytime in the first 30-35 minutes.
No invasion in the jungle. Nothing to stop Owie from being able to do his Enigma thing here. When she gets that early deny, starts heading him towards the jungle, goes back, gets his mana back, and will head in that way. So we'll have to see. Biryu gets a early Ob's Word, very unusual spot, more towards the rune side of things. What kind of vision does that give? It doesn't really go into the mid lane at all to help give him high ground vision, but it's definitely not a normal spot, so not at risk for too easy of a D-ward.
Yeah, I guess feeling like, that's not going to get de-warded is likely, but we'll see Biryu in a different role. Like, he's going to be the one zoning the offlaner this time around. Normally that's more what AUI's up to, but sure he'll be handling that role just fine.
And that leaves that AM DS matchup here down. Well, he'll get some early pot shots in, but it's going to be no surprise an easy level 2 for this Darkseer, so he can invest into Surge. Hasn't invested into anything so far, just doing the casual right click. Now we'll get the Ion Shell as he gets closer to his level 2, and we'll be fine. No surprise to see that 1437 will take care of the pull camp to get the clockwork away from that tower a bit. But Brax Zeus. We haven't been able to see Brax play Zeus, I believe, on this new squad. Something I've seen him play many a time back in his Navi US days.
Yeah, I think we saw Zeus yesterday, but it was in the hands of Suzy, I believe, for Fire. But yeah, definitely a hero with just a lot of scaling potential, goes well into the late game. And kind of a passive mid, but you can match up like fine against a lot of the kind of the metagame mids. Like you can actually go okay against the leaners and Lestraks just by sitting back and farming. You'll never win those matchups, but you can always get farm and you should be able to stay alive.
TC gets bullied a little bit here, but it's not enough to keep him too far out of check. 2-minute rune. Owie's first in, wants to see if anyone's coming over. Get the hell away, SVG. You're not getting this one. All me, but snowball in. It's going to be a little too late to connect. The bounty's still going to go for Owie. Nice rune for him. It's Enigma with 2 to farm up, but hey, he gets trapped. He's going to need some right clicks here. Owie gets the ping, like I might need some assistance. He'll have to take the long road back to the jungle, but he is going to have to sweep through mid on the way, but he'll get some assistance from Yawar. Yes. Doesn't want to have to assist Owie.
Zeus didn't really have much to be able to rotate in and help out at all.
Yeah.
Owie's actually in trouble. He's been completely zoned out now. SVG is just sitting on his ramp, preventing Owie from getting back up there.
MSS too. Both of them.
Yeah, and I think Owie's suddenly realized what's going on, because he's just hugging this mid lane, and both offlaners, missing. They're going to swoop on in, block 2 of his camps using sentries to slow down his farm, and decide that's enough pressure and head back towards top to keep getting XP.
There's that hefty harassment. You hate to go against as an offlaner. Silencer goes for the early curse, or sorry, early last word, and then also gets the glaive. That pure damage and that right click. A lot of damage.
Yep.
Force him to go right through some regen. Still has 2 tangos on Bulba in that bottom lane. But we'll see what they can get done in this top lane to really be a pain in the butt for TC. As long as Biryu's waiting behind, it shouldn't be too much trouble. Still holding that secondary point as he gets his level 3. Will now invest it into the grave, no surprise. And they will pull back. Owie returns back to his jungle, eliminates the camp, will not respawn. He'll know it soon. And there's no sort of prep for any sentries on hand, it looks like. So he'll be in for a rude awakening here in a minute or so.
Yeah, and this is the majority of his farm is farming these camps on the far east of that dire jungle. He's not going to want to have to make the move in rotation towards the camps over near the lane, because that's just a long way away. The dire jungle much kind of more widely spread and just not efficient use of his time.
And we'll continue to deal with that for now. He went down to neutral, but it was intentional. When he did that last bit of harassment on Bulba, he had very, very little life. So he probably just went, bought out, offed himself, and he gets the free trip back to the base where he'll buy some wards. Bought a TP, but he's going to walk. Save the TP in case he needs to make a rotation, it looks like.
Yeah. Nice little play that you'll see a lot of players, like in pubs or whatever, maybe not doing, is just walking to a lane, saving your TP scroll. Especially as a support, because you can help another lane. If you're playing like a carry and your goal is to get your Battle Fury like an anti-mage as fast as possible, yeah, you TP the lane, but even playing like a mid-ganker type hero, like it's worth just walking back to lane and holding your TP at certain stages, because you can offer a lot of help if you have your TP up.
SVG just kind of letting Owie know he knows what's up. Howie will head back now, but uh-oh. Wait, where's that wave? Wait, what? Oh, plants the sentry. We'll be able to get rid of this one camp. And it will be in time. Can he get this one down as well? Oh, he doesn't have a second sentry. He lost out in the big camp then. He'll wait for this new one to spawn, and he'll continue his farm. Back at the top lane here. Who's getting the most out of this one? 29 and 11 TC. Lots of farm on his PL. Oh, bottom lane, though. Harassment on the Bulba.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower
Being zoned up
is
pretty
under
well by
attack.
the silencer, and anti-mage laning just fine, has the double ring going on, and this will just sustain him in lane. And he last hits fine under the tower with the Quelling Blade pickup.
Shard block, but PL doppelganger over.
Yep.
Not going to be an easy cat to catch.
So no first blood yet, not surprising just by the nature of these drafts. Maybe the Tusk could have, with his rotation, seen an early kill somewhere like the mid lane or on the Enigma, but for the most part, this is kind of the slow-paced farming style that we've kind of come to know from both these two teams, which so far has favored C9. They seem to be the ones who get the most out of these kind of slow-paced games.
MSS, nice pull here for his off lane. We'll be able to get that creep back at the tower. TC's trying to get down there in time. And he'll be there and get the hell out of here. Try to smack him back and away.
Yep.
But that wave is coming in.
I
And
think
MSS will get pushed to level 6 soon.
Yeah, and I think that's the key thing here. That's why SVG's rotated off the top lane, is because they want MSS to get solo XP. They probably look at things now like, what's going to be the key thing to deal with the DC aggression and potential level 6 on Enigma? And it's going to be the Clockwork Hookshot. His level 6 is more important than anyone else right now, and giving him a solo lane. Like a Clockwork Hook with a Zeus ulti available is a lot of kill potential anywhere on the map.
Shackle out on Brax, not going to latch, and he will easily sidestep the power shot. A little bit of harassment coming up from Yawar, but he has the full stick. He'll pop it bottom lane, though. Snowball in. SVG makes a long rotation from top all the way to bottom here, and Bulba sees the rotation come in from Yawar, wants to re-engage, but it's a bit low on life and mana. Ritsu's going to be able to easily blink away. This could be... Oh, Shackle not going to be close enough to the trees. Big damage with the double damage, but oh, look at this. Brax dishes out the ultimate, and so is Ritsu, and they're going to get the kill. Yawar's going to be going down. First Blood's going to go, and they keep charging in. Big snowball. Biryu's going to be forced to self-grave, and he runs the hell out of there.
That is a massive kill to get. Using similar to what we saw earlier, using the Mana Void pseudo-defensively just to stop auto attacks and to just give him that stun. The stun itself just kind of slowed him down and kept the silencer alive, and that is a huge kill. That was a Wind Ranger TP with a DD rune bottled up. Space for Brax just to keep on farming this mid lane, and really big turnaround there.
Brax only had to hit the R button to help participate in that, while Yawar departs the lane, has the TP investment to go down there, a long chase, and ends up losing his own life. That is a big catch. It takes a long time to get that first blood, but it's huge worth it.
And it's
right
first
there.
blood to an anti-mage of all heroes, so it gives him a big gold boost, gets him closer to that Battle Fury, picks up some treads for now, as well as a Hedris going for this heavy regen build that he's been doing most games on anti-mage, especially because he's always against the Darkseer. And this is just going to cause problems for DC once his Battle Fury comes up.
Do DC look for that small window when Aoi has a black hole before Theban has a silence? I mean, I know we already talked about the hookshot being online for MSS, but maybe he gets the catch onto the Clockwork. There could be an opportunity to maybe take a big team fight with that ult.
Could even see just kind of smoke towards bottom and go for a solo black hole on anti-mage could be well worth it.
Yeah.
I don't see a big team fight breaking out where you can get a black hole off, but I can definitely see it being used to kill either Zeus or an anti-mage. Either of these two core heroes on the C9 side would be well worth it, but he can't do it alone. He needs some extra damage output, which is only really coming from Yawar, which is where maybe the kill on the Zeus is more likely, since Yawar just wants to kind of stay near and at the middle lane. Rotation bottom there really costs him, and if he rotates bottom again and doesn't get anything, it sets him back even further.
TC, though, second in net worth only to that AM because of the first blood. Continues his farm game here at the top. MSS will be joined once again from SVG. They could decide to hand the farm off. It looks like that's the case. SVG, you take over the lane. I'm going to go and see if I can do something with this freaking hook shot.
Oh, yeah. He'd love to find Yawar as well, though there is Dazzle sitting behind, so...
And obviously, TC's got to be communicating like, okay, Clockwork's gone, guys. High alert.
Yeah.
Hook could come from anywhere. In fact, maybe MSS will bait like he's going somewhere else and end up just making a jump back to this lane.
It's kind of where he's signaling. It looks like he may just stay where he is until the 10-minute mark and try and maybe get a kill at the top rune at 10 minutes when teams go for the rune. MSS is nearby, as is Curtis on the Enigma. And yeah, it seems he is just camping this top rune for till 10 minutes. He's not moving
jungle
anywhere.
as well. Bulba's up here. His Darkseer getting involved a little bit, very close to his level 6, but looks like he's just trying to find a home for himself here. What's happening down over here? A roll on forward. They're trying to get the catch on the TC. Snowball all the way in, and oh, it's TC who turns it around, gets the big Spirit Lance, and DC will get themselves on the board. Big catch there for your PL.
I think he was trying to bait for the clockwork, but the problem is TC never used... He has to wait till Doppelganger's being used, because you hook him, he just Doppelgangers out of your cogs, and he never even used the Doppelganger to get that kill. Good patient play from TC, and a great, just smart decision-making and awareness not to use the Doppelganger. If he commits to Doppelganger to go for that kill, it's going to backfire, and he's going to go down to a hook shot.
Nice quick D-ward there from Yawar. He'll head back to the mid lane. Ritsu completes his Perseverance, that first little trinket of the Battle Fury coming together here, and like we see from him often, he commits for the early headdress, which will later be turned in course into that Vlad's. He's had a lot of time to work down here in this bottom lane. TC may have gotten that kill, but he did get pulled away from his farm a little bit. But they are still neck and neck as far as top of net worth here. Yet to really see a big fight. This is just very hesitant play, but look at this. Maybe anticipating possible stack work, maybe hoping to catch out a Owie in the jungle, or at least take this as an expedition to get some wards down. Cloud9 smoke up, go on the move. They're going to round the bend and maybe try to get a catch here up on the top lane, but TC already puts himself in a very safe spot. They're going to scout him. Hook, catch, right there from MSS. Got to get the bump back, trying to maybe burn out a bit of the mana. There's the follow-up, and Doppelganger up north, not going to get away. Rocket's going to be the follow-up there. Beautifully done. It's going to be Cloud9 who get the catch. Take out TC.
Big kill to get. And Anti-Mage, while he can't really stay on the lane while his team's gone smoking into the top side of the map, he can easily jungle. That's one of the great things about this build. He goes with all this extra HP regen, gets the treads, doesn't cut any corners to get the faster Battle Fury. He can jungle so well and so efficiently, so it's not really hurting his farm that all his supports and kind of ganking heroes are off missing and not helping him, because he can just find farm without any assistance.
Unless maybe I'm missing something, potentially conflict of items here on DC. Bulba, oh no, he's going to turn it into a Force Staff. I only saw the ring at the start, like maybe he was going to throw together a mech, but mech's already done for Owie, and that means that your Darkseer is going to go for a Force build up here. Yeah. Very good against the Clockwork, so they need someone to get it.
Yeah, Bulba well-versed in dealing with Clockworks, just rushing this on one of your heroes, and Bulba's always going to be looking to be at fights, so...
They're dancing around. Yawar thinks that there's a hook shot, so he's... zip, but he's just waiting for the cooldown, gets the catch regardless. Yawar's going to get trapped, but hey, look at this. TC comes in from above, and MSS might have gone in too deep. Shoots off the rocket. He's on retreat here, and no help is nearby. He will go down. TC's there at a moment's notice, gets the kill.
Nicely kind of baited, and Spirit Lance can kind of help tank the Battery Assault a bit there as well, and just didn't have the damage output at levels. It was just level 2 Battery Assault, level 3 Rocket Flare. If he has a few more levels, maybe it's a potential kill, but yeah, Yawar knew exactly what he was doing there.
So 1437 is going to get to his level 6 Global Silence.
Snowball in bottom. AY should be fine, but...
They moved in. Uppercut. Silence. Global. There it is. Owie's Black Hole. Going to get shut down.
It's a bit of an odding. Neither really had the ability. Even if he doesn't use Silence there, SVG was going to live. Like, that was just... he silences because there's maybe potential backup coming, but yeah. Neither could kill the other, and both were committing ultis and going in.
Big ultis down from both sides, I suppose.
Yeah. Less so the Walrus Punch, which is already back up, but yeah, this is... AUI just kind of split pushing and pressuring bottom lane by himself. He kind of knows that if they really want to commit,
mid lane, hook shot in from MSS, trying to make a go again for Yawar. This time he has the help of 1437. Dishes out the curse, a right click, but help's coming in, and it's Owie. Quick mech will keep Yawar alive just in time.
I won't see a turnaround, but that was a great
save.
That
was a Brax ult came out at that moment too. Oh, up here, Ritsu sees a little dazzle and will not commit. Decides that his time is valued elsewhere, going for farm. Yep. And they head out. Ooh, very, very close. DD's going to be at bottom, and Yawar's going to grab it. He's getting close to that Agnums. 2 of the 4 components already done. See if he tries to make some work with it. He could cross paths here with SVG. He could get pincered in from 3. He's running for it. Uh-oh. They see him. No shackle. Gonna connect here.
He didn't have mana for the focus fire as well, so...
Yeah.
If he had a bit more mana for like a win run plus focus fire, using the win run to engage there maybe not the play, but it was going to be a hard kill regardless. And A dangerous rune to see on a Wind Ranger,
Radiant's
but doesn't
bottom tower is
actually
under attack.
lead to any kills.
Still
Or
pretty-
not yet. He might catch 1437. Yeah.
Now they're going simultaneous action. A good catch right there. Yawar creeps in, spots out the silencer, finishes him off as they were going to make a move on Ritsu in the top lane. So it's going to be DC who gets the quick pick on the little support. Your silencer didn't have global regardless. Bottom lane. SVG is going to clear out that push pressure for Maui. Get a nice chunk of change for himself. At the same moment, Bulba will be able to finish off his 4-staff here. But look at the move in here. TC trying to flex his core muscles here onto Ritsu, who is about to have this. He actually has the Battle Fury right now. So the farm can begin.
Well, he's farming and Yua's dying in the mid lane. Clockwork again just keeps on applying pressure. Really just, it seems he's almost exclusively hunting around for this Wind Ranger. The Doppelganger from the PL means there's an easy escape, and Darkseer's a 4-staff. Wind Ranger's just the ideal target, and twice Wind Ranger escaped the gank. This time not so lucky, but it's just constant pressure. Keeps Yua kind of underfarmed. Really just prevents his item progression. He's fallen behind both Zeus and Anti-Mage by a pretty decent margin now.
And we'll see 1437 for now has the glove. Last time was able to farm together that Midas so they can help him get the XP, get that global leveled up, and get that quick refresher. I believe he went for the straight Agnums last time, but we'll see what he puts more value in when he gets there.
Dire's top
Long way to
tower
go.
is under attack.
Got to talk more about people like Brax with his Bloodstone now complete. It's big and mighty. Bounty Rune's going to be picked up for him. And being level 11, he has that level 2 Thunder God's Wrath. So we'll see how long before they want to make another committed jump.
For Brax, this has just been a very farm game. He's got 3 assists, but that's just from throwing his ultimate without even being in the action, really. So it's just the Clockwork going around looking for kills sometimes. It's only the Clockwork +1. Like, he'll look to gank a lane where Anti-Mage is farming, or where Silencer or Tusk is farming, and then the Zeus ulti just gets thrown in as that kind of third hero contribution. And that's kind of enough to kill most heroes. The PL, the one who you have to bring like the 3 to 4 man smoke gank like they did top lane to kill, but outside of the PL, Clockwork +1 can kill pretty much anyone.
Eyes possibly to this mid lane here. A smoke going to be coming out, looks like. We got one on Aoi and one on Biryu. He's going to use his.
Radiant's top tower
Oh, they're going in
is
for
under
Roche.
attack.
Okay.
And that is
Zeus
just
ulti
as the
not up, yeah.
sigil does expire. SVG's nearby. Does he make a new one to scout it out? Might be too late. They look to go in. Focus fire. Roche doing a lot of damage, though.
We didn't get the conversion resummon.
Uh-oh.
Makes
I
life
don't know
a
if
bit
they
harder.
can do this.
Possible.
They're not doing as much damage as they hope.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It's
They should be able to
slowly
get it
going.
with the Wind Run and Dazzle heals, but a lot slower than they would hope for.
Perhaps
And
ulti.
C9 just aren't really. They are expecting this.
Uh-oh, there it is. They're
Oh,
going to
this
see it
Roche
now.
is-
They're very low. Sigil's coming in, and DC got to get the hell out of there, even pop their mech to make sure. Can MSS get a hook shot to connect?
Don't think he wants to go in. No, there's
Brax
few
is
too many
ult in
heroes.
And they have global.
I think AUI got bashed right when he was trying to resummon his conversions and prevented. And without the conversions, they just didn't have the damage to kill Roche in a timely fashion.
That's
so.
a bit of a misplay because the bash only comes out when they have 3 heroes so close to Roche, so Dazzle maybe needed to step back a bit so the bash stomp rather wouldn't come.
Oh no! It was the actual bash though on
Oh,
AUI.
just the
Like
right
he was
click bash.
he was mid cast of the conversions and gets bashed.
Oh, the bad RNG, but they're going to make the jump for Yawar, and they're going to finish him off. A snipe from the shards on the high ground from SVG is going to secure that one. Just going to be the one casualty, it looks like here.
Also not having a medallion. Like Enigma doesn't really want to go for it, wants Dazzle to farm it, but Dazzle just hasn't had the time or space to
Dire's
get
top
anything
tower
like a
has
medallion
fallen.
yet. So yeah, we'll see DC
Oh.
commit a lot of time and resources
That's a
into
blink
that.
dagger
but
on your 4-position Tusk.
Yeah, this
Pretty good time.
Tusk has been given a decent amount of farm priority this game, with Clockwork just almost has twice the CS of Clockwork, in fact, with 29 on Clock and 54 on the Tusk, so Clockwork slightly less item dependent anyway, so they're happy to have Clockwork ganking more.
There's the blink. They move in. Shards are out. Aoi still has Black Hole, and there's no global. He could move forward here. Try to get something set up. I don't think a Black Hole needs to be committed. They're going to just try to go for the solo grab onto SVG. He has shards, but nothing else. Yawar's here. TC's here. All of DC are pretty much coming to this bottom lane now. They get the grab. Now maybe give Roche another try.
Still fairly low here.
The MSS already going to be there to scout it out. But
TC's got very little mana for this. This is risky play still. And it also just gives Ritsu the knowledge he can just Rambo push top lane. I don't think he's even going to come to this fight.
They will be able to take it down. It's going to be snagged up from TC. But as you said, it pulls a lot of attention away from everywhere else, allowing Ritsu, who's been more dedicated in just farming, not being a part of the fights, not TPing in and rotating. So he keeps creeping further and further away and ahead of TC. Over 11K net worth for him as TC just approaches 9. Yasha is already waiting for him back at home. But speaking of Yasha's, TC does finish his SMY.
Yeah,
SMY build for Phantom Lancer.
Yeah,
Don't see that very often.
Something quite different. Not having... I imagine you'll go for Diffusal next. You want to have a Diffusal against an Anti-Mage to be able to burn through his mana pool nice and quick, but...
Values, I guess, just having a bit more life. I mean, when you have that heavy magic burst coming out from your Zeus, maybe just want to have your illusions be able to tank up as much as possible, and yourself, obviously. We'll have to see how the SMY is going to be working out here for him.
Is a good fighting item. Suggests that he wants to just fight now with his team. It's kind of like because he didn't go for the drums, he doesn't have that extra bit of HP, and SMY picked up instead. And he TP's mid, and it looks like they are going to kind of group up towards this mid lane. This is just where Anti-Mage can shine, though. Anti-Mage will just split push.
They're going for Brax. He's eating way too much damage with the help of that Ion Shell. Global comes out, but it's a bit off the mark. DC are to get what they want, and they're going to get more. SVG even committing on in. They just draw them away, and they're going to get 2 easy, free, quick kills and a tier 1 tower.
And that's where I think the PL TP caught him by surprise. They saw PL was farming top, and then suddenly it's like, wait, he's just mid. He's just lanced and gone in on Brax, completely by surprise. Brax didn't even really have time to react and use a Bloodstone Suicide.
Look at this. They're just going to keep moving this momentum down the mid lane.
This is where we'll see the classic Anti-Mage creep skipping, I imagine. Yeah, Ritsu's headed mid. He's going to cut off this wave. But they're still going to deal with this one wave mid.
It's 2 towers, 2 kills, plus that Roche, all going for Digital Chaos. And the advantage that C9 had could go away. Oh, MSS not going to catch the hook, it looks like. DC will farm on their way out. Or not. They turn back, they see MSS. Vacuum's going to cancel the TP, and they're going to get another pick here. MSS goes down. Now it's going to be Digital Chaos on the serious offensive here. Break together 3 big kills.
Yeah. This is, I think, catching... Their aggression's just catching C9 a bit by surprise, because the last 2 games, DC would get an Aegis, play a bit more passively, and they've even gone for a kind of greedy farming lamp. They've got the Enigma, but they're using the Enigma much more aggressively than you'd maybe normally expect. But with the Guardian Greaves, Enigma offers a lot to the team in a constant fighting scenario, and that's exactly what we've got. Imagine Ritsu's just telling the team, like, guys, I'm just, like, I can split push. Don't engage them. Just try and stall them from afar. Like, throw ice shards, throw rocket flare, but don't put yourself in a position where you can get brought down, because he's just going to keep forcing TPs back. They can't go for a high ground push if Anti-Mage is really threatening the other side lanes, and that's where these are kind of almost freebie kills in some way that C9 are giving up.
And that's not good. Ritsu would be so much further ahead with just his split push pressure otherwise, but because they're handing over more and more kills to DC, they're starting to catch up with this AM as a whole. You look at just like the top half of net worth. Overall, it's all going to be Digital Chaos. With the exception of course, Little Biru here. Well, we know that. He's always broke.
He plays that 6th position.
Everyone else, they have a long way to go. Though 1477 did manage to finish out his Midas. It's a start. He's getting close to level 11.
He's saying, like, look, I'm not at that BOU stage of supporting. I'm going to get some late game items.
Yeah, I'm going to be one of those side insurance policies here.
Yeah. Well, I can go back to game 1 where his Witch Doctor was like one of the actual carries that game in some ways.
Yeah, the unsung hero.
Had Ags, BKB, McCabe.
Ooh, smoke detection. And they will quickly draw back.
Yeah, they maybe try and get down some wards while they're still smoked, but yeah, even that doesn't seem likely.
For people who don't know, obviously, it didn't do any damage to the smoke targets, but once you pop off that global from Zeus and you don't see anyone, that means they're smoked.
Yeah. And it actually reveals the area too. Like that area pops up on the map. You don't see heroes, but it's like, oh, why did I get vision in this area? Someone smoked there. So,
just for anyone who's coming off the casual Dota street. Well, here comes pressure bottom lane, C9. Trying to get a tier 1 for themselves. The split pressure's coming.
TC's chasing bottom.
Top lane, TC looking to engage, but yeah, TP out from Brax. It'll be fine. But they might need to do something about this top lane push. A DD on Yawar with Focus Fire. And he is starting to just rip apart this tier 2. It's going to be taken
Dire's
down.
middle tower has fallen.
And now the farm feels a bit restricted. Maybe not for Ritsu, who loves to go out there, but for everyone else on the team, they end up being a bit in the dark and can't have the luxury of just blinking all over the place like an AM can.
They have bought time for the Aegis to expire now, and Anti-Mage continuing to do his thing. Actually gets found out by the PL, but...
Quick Manta sidesteps the Spirit Lance and blinks away from trouble. The Illusion Wars. TC will win that one, and he'll take his jungle back and continue to farm there. So we touch base with everyone else as begin to throw their items together. Owie finishes out his Greaves. He gets his Ogre Club. First component, I imagine, towards that BKB, which will save him from the first Global Silence. I imply that maybe later on in the game a refresher will come up if it gets down that long. Oh, top lane. They're very close to TC. Rocket as the Doppelganger's there. Hookshot is only going to be on the Illusion, but hey, blink forward. Snowball, they're doing all they can to catch up with him, but they can't stop him. SVG will just rotate back to base. They don't want to be overextending themselves into uncertain territory.
It's got a bit too far, a bit too deep for them to be chasing down a tanky hero that's hard to kill like the PL at this stage. They got a bit confident when they know the PL's Aegis has expired, but ultimately it was a very risky play to make.
Here comes trouble in the form of DC.
And this AM is
smoke move.
AM's actually getting more and more, like out farming the PL by a pretty good margin consistently.
Yeah.
But let's see what the plan's going to be, because they can't really. They don't want to just waste time running around chasing the AM trying to gank him, because if they don't get kills, they're going to get more and more out farmed, and it's not a good use of their time. So for now, they're taking towers. They take the last outer tower on the map, but even without an Aegis, they're going to look to threaten high ground and force these TPs back from everyone except the Anti-Mage at least.
All ults are up and ready. Digital Chaos. Look at this. They're charging way past. Brax is going to be forced to suicide here and bide back. Oh boy, Ritsu might be needed here. He's going to be TPing back now. DC, do they toy the idea of standing in a little MSS? Big catch. Follow-up global. Can they eliminate the Enigma before the black hole can come? They can. He's going to get dropped right then and there. They're going to get the follow-up. TC's going to get dropped, and now it's going to be C9 moving in. They want to clear out the rest. Biru's like, look at me, guys. Come for me. He's going to get killed. The Tusk Shard almost working against them. They can't push past, and there's going to be a quick TP out. Brax, he gets caught at the start, but comes right back with a triple.
It does mean he didn't actually get that much money for those kills because of the buyback penalty. 60% of his potential earnings taken away, but still a huge victory for C9. I mean, it really goes to show just how strong this Anti-Mage is and how actually teamfight ready he can be. He rocks up to that fight, and the other big thing is Enigma, Guardian Greaves are on cooldown, so Enigma did not have a way to get rid of the global silence once it came out. If the Guardian Greaves are up, he can use that to get rid of the silence and then potentially get off a black hole. Hookshot had been used, silence had been used. Getting a Blink Walrus punch off on the Enigma during a black hole, not easy. And that's something which could have been a game changer. It was about 6 seconds off coming online, the Greaves, and unfortunately what results is C9 get 4 kills and now towers to boot as well.
There it is. Tier 2 will drop. It makes you wonder, do they consider picking up a side like Lotus Orb or something, just to guarantee Owie's not going to get stuck in a position like that?
He'll go for the BKB. He's getting BKB with the Greaves.
So you can Greaves off the first silence, BKB the second. Fair enough.
Yep. Yeah, because 1437 has picked up his first Perseverance, so it will be a straight refresher. No Ag Scepter today.
I mean, against an Enigma, get the refresher.
Yep.
Especially since you know he's going to be building into that BKB. You see his Ogre Club, and what they may not know is he already has a hammer as well waiting in his stash, so he's getting very close to it. But it's not going to be enough.
We get a very fast Rosham respawn now coming up. It's at 17 seconds, so about to be respawning, and it looks like it's going to be Digital Chaos in the neighborhood. Bulba immediately scouts it out.
I just can't believe how far ahead Ritsu is already.
Oh, this is...
I mean, 7K?
It's ridiculous.
How?
I mean, up until that fight, he was 0-0-0. Like, he'd been just exclusively farming, creep skipping, taking jungle camps.
He killed TC as well, right? Like, he was the one to take him out. That's top net worth from the DC side.
Yeah, that sounds... I believe that happened.
More,
Dire's top
but
tower is under attack.
Here comes Cloud9. Ooh, look who's creeping in from behind. TC spots out Brax, and he's going to get the solo pickoff here. He tries a TP. Oh, he's going to be able to get away with the Glimmer. The Glimmer, he makes it out. Oh, he gets snowballed up, it looks like. Did he? No, he's back at base. Snowball's going to be SVG. Quick blink back, and he's out to safety. And Brax, even from home, is going to be able to help finish him off. He's going to be going down here, and, well, DC still consider converging. But here comes Ritsu. He looks to jump in. Manta's going to be popped. He puts his focus onto TC, but the wall's going to get dropped.
It's a
Huge
illusion.
shackle connection from Yawar, and they're going to get the kill. Ritsu's going to be going down.
Oh, shackled to his own illusion. That'll set up a Roshan as well. What a huge play from SVG, though. That Glimmer Cape to save Brax while he's TPing, and then he snowballs and blinks out to save himself. That was just a sick individual play. Still not the best result for that fight. Losing the Anti-Mage and now losing Roshan really puts DC in a pretty good place strategically, and they're going to look to use this Aegis maybe for that next high ground attempt. They've already done a good amount of damage to the tier 3 tower bottom, and they may be headed right back towards that bottom lane.
Yeah, Bulba's already there. He's trying to get this push going ahead of time for his team. There was a brief response there from 1437 to try to slow it down, but as you said, here they come, running right down there to hopefully do a bit more damage where they had started before.
And the big thing is Anti-Mage not alive means he's not creep skipping. Like in the past push, he was taking out the follow-up creep wave, so once that creep wave was dealt with, you could try and spam it out with the Ice Shards, the Zeus Arc Lightning. The push was over, but this time around with the AM dead, and he doesn't want to use a buyback. He does not want to have to commit that money. It becomes very tricky for C9 to consistently hold this. They're going to be forced to take a team fight, which maybe plays into the hands of the Enigma Darkseer, who are just so good in that team fight setting.
They need about 20 seconds for Global to be back up. And I wonder if DC know that, and they're working around it. They already throw out the Dazzle Weave. TC's already looking to move in. They see the silencer. They'd love to get rid of him before he's able to get that Global back, but they can't. Gets Glimmered, gets help. Tier 3 will be going down here. TC eats a lot of damage from that burst. It's going to be forced to Doppelganger back out.
I think that may be the end of the push, though, with AM back alive. The AM's pretty scary to deal with because of this Abyssal Blade as well. You can just blink in Abyssal, go on someone like the Enigma and cause problems. If you don't hit Anti-Mage with a Shackle that latches, you're looking at issues coming your way.
Here they come again. Now seeing if they can get some work done. Early Spirit Lance to try to zone back Brax. Rockets and everything, all they can to try to slow this wave down, but they also want to stay spread. Can't risk getting caught out. Ooh, jumping uppercut. That was a bit sketchy right there for TC. Oh, moving from Brax. He's going to pop the Aegis. But now he's going to be very low on mana. Glimmer's going to be keeping him alive.
They see the AM. Oh, he's shackled.
Oh, what a catch from Yawar. He goes in and gets the tree right behind him, but the man's going to get split. Global comes out, does save him. He gets right back into base. But that means that there's no Global for the Black Hole. If Digital Chaos do want to move in, it's just very difficult to pressure into this high ground and get in good position.
GC made a cool play. He actually purged off his silence on the Enigma, on his own teammate. Like, right as the Global came out, he purged AUI, and AUI, it basically said, if C9 engage, you can actually Black Hole during this Global. Or potentially you could have maybe solo Black Holed the Anti-Mage, although I don't think that was the play to make, so, and he didn't do that, but that could have been a very risky C9 fight if they'd gone in during the Global.
And they continue to just flirt with this bottom lane. They're not really getting much more damage done on the actual tower, and Ritsu is already underway with his creep cutting. Pushes all the way up this mid lane. He's looking to head towards the top. Of course, got to farm the jungle on the way.
He'll head back mid, I think, just because that's the lane where it can actually pressure the high ground.
He turns back in. He's awaiting. Look at this. He's all the way inside their base. I don't want to catch the action because they're still possibly going in, but look at him! Look at him! He's getting this tier 3 mid lane.
Manta.
Oh, he commits the Manta. The Glyph's going to come out, and now he's like, I'm in here now, boys. I'm looking to drop a big black hole on you, but they immediately pull black. And now, Glyph going to be coming out.
It's a Rax trade.
What's happening for Ritsu? Ritsu's working on those racks. They already used their Glyph. Both Glyphs are going to be down. Jumping from Yawar. Shackled, not going to happen. 1437 moves up and avoids it, but look at the catch from MSS. This is all while Ritsu's still pushing that lane, so they're going to try to hold him here as long as possible. Brax dishes out huge lightning damage, but Yawar gets the save from the grave. He's now going to be forced back up inside the base. Rocket's going to finish him off. He will go down. DC, Frank to get back away, but look at what's happening. Ritsu is going to work. Now top lane tier 3 is going to be going down. They are still stuck here in the bottom lane. They can't get away. What a vacuum in the wall, though. They are tired. They want to get the hell out of here, and they're going to kill them both off first. But how much damage did Ritsu get done?
Nothing too fatal. It was a Rax for, like, I guess a full lane of Rax for a melee Rax. The T3 tower went down, but PL came back and defended the top lane. So that kind of saves the... If they get double Rex there, it's a big issue, but I think C9 make the right choice there. With Global Silence on cooldown, they can't really teamfight too well, so they basically trade Rax while Global's on cooldown, which I think is... I mean, it's not necessarily a favorable trade for them, but it's the best trade they can get with Global not available. And then the fight that ensues, good fight for DC where they get multiple kills, including another big kill on Brax. Really slows down his kind of next item progression, and we will see the refresher up, though, on Silencer, and this is the item that C9 had potentially been waiting for.
Oh boy, oh boy. I can't imagine what it takes to make those kind of quick grid reactions. That's like, I don't know if Ritsu's the one to make the call. If they're like, Ritsu, get up there, get pushing now. We will hold, and we will not allow them to get back there and stop.
And the thing is, he had a TP scroll as well. So if a fight broke out and his team called for him, like, hey, you should join this fight, we're going to win it, he had the TP scroll as well. Only now, after picking up the BKB, does he actually drop his TP scroll to make room for the BKB. So he's feeling very confident. If he had the BKB there, he probably could have got the melee racks. He could have just BKB, hit the racks, and the PL diffusal would not have burnt all his mana away, but he had to run away from the diffusal PL. Sells the Vlads, gets another TP scroll. So again, prioritizing just having that TP to make sure he can get back and defend and join his team for a fight.
I was curious if he was just going to hold the Vlads and maybe upgrade to Boots of Travel, but looks like he's going to.
He's thinking long term he's going to want another big item anyway. Like, the Vlad cell was coming sometime in the next 3 to 5 minutes anyways. Probably see a Butterfly picked up against the PL.
Yeah.
Just because PL is not really a hero who wants to build MKB, so.
He already built a Basher too on this TCPL. Now we'll grab his own BKB. The pressure keeps coming though. They're going to have to stop this top lane push a bit. How are we looking for Roche? No information going to be there. I always look as if I'll know, but it looks like it's still going to be a bit of time.
You know, the last time you've been asking, that's when the little timer would pop up, so they'd like pop up and tell you inside the game, maybe.
Fortunately, I'm not getting lucky this time. No. Here we go. Smoke up, though.
With the anti-mage. Black Hole's still on cooldown for 50 seconds.
Double global on C9 side.
They get vision of the heroes, so they...
I mean, a big fight. If they take a huge fight here, it would force out... How many buybacks do we got? Not that many.
Yeah. They've got Refresher
that could
Global.
Be game if they take a huge fight here.
Enigma does, which is one of the key heroes, and we'll have probably we'll have Black Hole by the time kind of a fight breaks out, maybe. Antimage is just in position to take a lane of Rax here. He goes in. He's
okay.
Backdoor protection's gone.
What are you going to do about it? They move in, and he gets this Rax near dead. Down to what, an eighth its life? Of just one little push? That's got to be a rude awakening there for DC.
Yeah. Just the range Rax, and that's will be, I guess, important that AM goes for that because he knows it's not going to regen. Permanent damage has been dealt. His bottom lane, though, is a bit of a concern as far as it needing to be pushed out. Maybe Brax will be the one kind of on call there, already down here near this bottom lane, and he's going to pick up Boots of Travel. Yeah.
Just Ritsu continues to etch further and further ahead. He's almost at 10k above TC, and it's not like TC's really been slacking in the farm, but maybe while they're just kind of dancing around that bottom lane, trying to make a push happen, and Ritsu's just farming from lane to lane, back to jungle. That's just where he just continues to just etch further and further ahead. And
TC's been the one taking all the Aegises, and the playstyle for DC's been like, let's give TC Aegis and try and push high ground. So TC's been more kind of focused around grouping up with his team, 5-manning. He'll get his farm when he can, when the opportunities arise, but for AM it's been entirely just farm. Never fight unless it's like a last kind of, like the only option left that remains.
Brax will call out the ultimate so they can get a bit of an idea as what the hell's happening here.
He's just spamming this. He's got Octarine Core, so it'll
they have a
reduce
smoke
the cooldown.
now. They're going to use the smoke now. Oh, almost.
Rocket Flare spots him though.
They see them all gathering this mid lane, and they're like, they might be considering a smoke.
Zeus ulti down. They're grouped as 4 or 5. Yeah, that looks like a smoke that's about to happen.
Let's pull away. So you see them all just kind of head away from the lanes a bit, or at least make sure they have help nearby. Richard's got a DD rune, so he's like, I will be happy to fight if something breaks out here. But
I feel like DC really want to pick up a gem just to make sure they don't get completely countered, well, not even countered, but get owned by like a Glimmer Cape play like we saw earlier in the mid lane. Not to mention just being able to de-ward the map. There's wards on their side of the map protecting the Radiant jungle, so having a gem, I feel like at this stage of the game is definitely like the next crucial step for DC especially.
Octarine Core was complete on Brax.
Yeah, that's where he's just spamming this ultimate. It's a shorter cooldown, 67.5 seconds. Has much lower downtime and
all that sweet heal he'll get from just spamming. Not going to be as easy to get a hold of them. Okay, we'll see Cloud9 now.
There's your Roach timer, minute 20 seconds.
They've
Another
got the
Zeus
time
ult.
to work with.
So Brax just throws it out, gets the intel for his team, and they're just going to use it. I mean, at this point, it's as much about the vision as is the damage. They'll just keep on throwing it out whenever available, and AM's thinking about going in this top lane. There is an Observer Ward here, though, scouting him out, so this is a bit of a risky move.
Got it.
Yeah,
Zinchen in, the Manta's already going to be there, but TC's there to respond. And as you can see, just DC get pulled away from whatever game plan they're trying to formulate, whether it's making a smoke happen mid lane, making a adventure down to the bottom lane. They end up always having to just get, sidetracked somewhere else, dealing with the pressure coming in from Cloud9, figuring out where they are.
Again, backdoor regen confusing me. That top range Rex lost 6 HP. Like, it took damage, it kept regenning because of the backdoor protection, but it lost 6 HP. It was on 247, now it's on 241. I'm like, what's going on here? Somebody explain this to me.
There's some
I
sort
feel
of
like you
crazy
could write a
algorithm
thesis
there
on
in
backdoor
play.
regen and
Yeah.
like all the different weird things that it does. There is a thesis to be written just about that. But
Another ult. He just keeps dishing out these globals every minute. Oh, they see that one. They're like, time to smoke. MSS already fires his rocket towards the Roche pit here. Now, is this DC going for said Roche? They're going for a counter Roche. They're heading their way there. They're going to turn the corner, potentially look to go in C9 Woods here, and could potentially end up flanking. Oh, SVG, lanes down low. They're getting close. They're inching in here. Cloud9, not in the best position to retort if something does happen. The hesitation here from DC. Owie.
they see 1437. That'd be a great pickoff if they can get him.
Can they get in quick? Oh my goodness, the range!
Snowball.
Oh, snowball save from SVG. What a player. Now, it is going to roll them back in. He might need to be forced to first to global right here and now, and they will. They pop it out. They're looking to retreat, but they're going to need more help. They're way far from home.
second global.
And they can't get it off in time, so that means they're going to have to be pulled back, but Yawar will still go down. Ritu shows up, immediately annihilates him, now looks for TC. TC looking to run, make it back and away. BKB will be popped. Owie's going to be in big trouble. It tries to retreat, gets the help from the grave. TC in the meanwhile trying to make a go for Brax. Brax in trouble. Pops up the ultimate, gets the kill, annihilates him, and it's going to be Digital Chaos once again going down, pushed into deep grave, and oh man, ultra kill for Ritsu.
They didn't even need the second global. He refreshed, had no mana, and he was like, oh, it's okay. We just won this fight.
That means a free Aegis for them. It's looking like C9 are on the verge of doing a 3-0
Yeah.
against
Surprised
Digital
that-
Chaos.
I guess they have time to take Roshan and then go force the buybacks as well. Creeps are in the base, hitting the tier 4 towers. They'll go straight towards that top lane of Rax, I imagine. And Anti-Mage drops his boots, picks up the Aegis. It's time to win this game, I imagine.
What a play from SVG. That quick snowball save
Yeah.
gives them that much extra time for everyone to just quickly get there.
Has fallen.
No black hole available, so even when AUI respawns, it's 2 minutes without the hole, and they can't get bot lane of Rex because of the tier 2 tower, but the tier 4s, they're right for the taking. But PL buys back, 5 heroes alive on the DC side, they will back off. Could have got that top melee Rex potentially, but hey, they forced the TC buyback, and that really puts DC in a pickle here.
Ritsu starts working away at this final outer tower in the bottom. Already holding 5k gold. We'll have an item ready to go to replace his Aegis in the future. But he continues doing his thing. And as you said, C9 still have one more global to play around with. This could be their timing window if they want to make a push. You have your Aegis, you know the black hole's down, you have a global to work with. I mean, to me, sounds like a potential formula to try to end this series out, but
I love 1437 playing that support role to the extreme, even carrying around the BKB of Ritsu. It's just becoming a walking courier in some ways. It's like, when you need it in a fight, I'll drop it for you, and then you use it, and I'll pick it right back up.
watch that be the difference maker. I mean, I would not be surprised.
One way to save an item slot. Anti-Mage now with a Moon Shard coming out. Courier headed to the secret shop to complete it. And, well, this is a problematic AM. Now over 10k net worth ahead of the PL, and it's like you've got to hit the anti-mage in the wall of replica. You've got to make an illusion and use it. Like you need the anti-mage on your side as well as the other side, and you've got to have that massive black hole, which AUI is yet to be able to find.
That's the risk you take, though, committing a 5th pick Enigma with one more support pick to go on the side of Cloud9. I mean, to me, just read from the start, like, this is the silencer. But really hasn't been all about the global stopping a black hole. It's just, you know, I mean, it is obviously. It gets in your head from both sides.
Well, that last fight, it was not the global, but the hookshot, I believe, that stopped the black hole.
But it changes the way you want to play. You can't just easily throw out that global. You can't just easily throw out that black hole. You gotta be thinking ready at the next level. Like your Guardian Greaves off cooldown. Do you have your BKB ready to go? Really testing the limits of these players. Pushing into deep territory here and definitely testing the wits of DC. It's going to be what looks like their 3rd time straight having to pull out some serious defensive holds here if they just want to stay alive. Ritsu comes pressuring in. Just 1 Rax up here left. Biryu's going to already throw out the weave, preparing for the fight to come. And this Rax is going down. They're just going to have to hope for this one final hurrah, but Ritsu commits in, gets the big abyssal. Global's going to follow after the shackle does connect, so they're going to be forced to wait. They can't do anything. MSS, big hook shot onto Owie. There's the 2nd global. He will BKB that one off and can't find the target of black hole yet, but it is up and ready to go. Look at this, TC moving in, Doppelganger forward. They're going to get 1437, a follow-up, a big shackle will finish off SVG.
But the bottom lane being ratted, AM
will step away, but look at MSS. He's trying to stop them from going on over, and now they'll turn their attention onto him. AM goes in. The 2nd MSS draws the attention away. Ritsu's looking for the win. He's looking for the gold. Biryu's here first, but he's already moving on in for the Rex, and now we'll blink back in away. MSS, we see the back end right there. Going to get finished off. Nice catch from Yawar with the power shot. Causes 3 from C9 to go down, but are C9 upset about it? They finish off the top set of Rax, and they take the tier 3 on bottom down. So Rax is now exposed. The next time Ritsu's there to rat, you could see Megas come out.
Yeah, they're not phased by that at all. It wasn't the cleanest way to take the melee Rax in the tier 3 bot tower, but they get the job done, and it doesn't really give DC much of a boost to their current economy. So DC's still really struggling. They haven't got any big, scary late game items coming up. No refresher on the Enigma. There's no, like, a PL with an Abyssal could become a problem, or potentially a Satanic. Even the Wind Ranger of Yawar is very underfarmed, has just the Crystallis to go with the Deso as far as damage items go. You'd love to see, like, a Daedalus with even an MKB needed, because there's a Butterfly on the Anti-Mage. So this push for DC is all in. They are looking to end the game. If this fails, I definitely expect the GG call to come out, but this to me is just a last-ditch effort to make something happen.
Black hole, no global in sight for at least 30 seconds. C9, they hold this. They will have the game. Aegis is now expired.
AM's blinking away from the base, picked up Boots of Travel, so he'll have the TP back for a fight, but
he'll have to get back and get his BKB and then get in the fight.
I think the call is just delay the push as much as possible, and he can even go for the throne. He doesn't have to go for the mega creeps here. He can throne faster than the DC team can.
Well, they step back, they heal up. Immediate Lotus, reflection back onto Brax. Just a little bit of nuke damage. He's looking to commit in, and Ritsu does TP back. Looks like he will pick up his BKB and possibly look to take this fight. They're going to make the jump in. Already from the low ground, Yawar. Focus fire damage. Going for the tier 3. Oh, there's a committed jump. Abyssal. TC's in trouble. Global, and he's gone. They can't do anything to stop him. Black hole going to get canceled. There's going to be the uppercut, and that is your game. It's going to be Cloud9 who will go to Singapore to represent America. They shut out Digital Chaos 3-0. What a showing. Undefeated all the way. Very impressive.
Cloud9 yet to drop a game with their new team. It has just been game after game of fantastic strategy, composure from this team. It's not always been domination from the start. They've had their share of comebacks. Game 1 against DC in the winner bracket final. They had a game against Pain Gaming where they really struggled.